Caribou. I got myself and Jamie Letto and 2 other guys are meeting us tomorrow. So stay tuned, we'll see you at the cabin. We're gonna shoot some caribou. Right now it's not a bad day. The temperature is actually about 2 degrees, so it's pretty cold with a little bit of wind, but it'll be good for the meat and the animals should be moving. Tomorrow, on the other hand, is calling for, I believe, 10 degrees and rain, so we might have to have a day around the camp hunting tomorrow, but we'll see. So we're at our parking spot here now. Everyone always asks where I go hunting. This is no big secret here. You all know my cabin is down on the Bear Peninsula, but it's a pretty common spot. There should be a few caribou around down here now, so we're going to get the quads loaded up and we're going to head into the cabin, and with any luck we might even see a couple of caribou on the way in. So we're into Sandy Harbour River behind us. We're going to get a bite to eat now. We came on past the cabin. We're going to go in and have a look around and see what kind of animals are showing here. The weather's a bit cold, so we're going to put on some more clothes and have a cup of coffee. Probably a kilometre or so. Now we're going to walk over this hill and just have a look. So there's 10 or a dozen up there for sure. So we're just going to have a look now and just see what's up there. But I'm sure there's one up there that's big enough for Letto to shoot. And the other side of it is the wind is actually perfect here for me to try and do a stalk with the bow. We got a good wind coming here, and the only drawback though is there's not a lot of cover there, so it's going to be hard to sneak up with them and the animals. So we'll see. I'm going to take the ball here, see if I can happen to get a shot with the ball. He won't have to be real big for me to take the opportunity. I'd shoot a small one with the ball and a big one with the rifle. But if we get close enough and they look spooky, Jamie's getting a shot. my patented bow sling. One last thing, I'll take the GPS. You can generally see quite a ways here around the country, but you never know if you happen to shoot one and it gets dark or the fog comes in. I always carry the GPS so we'll know where we were at, how to get back there. Got him hit there pretty good. And he's down. We gotta go up there and see what he got. What a dandy, Letto. Lift him up, baby. Oh, beauty, beauty. So we don't have a whole lot of time here. There's going to be no video here. We'll do a little tell and talk on this when we get back to the camp. We got an hour to get back to the pole line before dark, and we're going to be cutting it close. So snap a couple of pictures and we got work to do. Way to go, Letto. Congratulations, buddy. So I didn't actually leave any stuff on the trail. I got all my cabin stuff here for the night, so we're fully loaded. So we're putting the caribou and Jamie squad, all of it. But that's it, he's got an awful clever load there, and it's not easy to drive. What did you think of the caribou hunting trip today coming in here?
Oh, it was beautiful, beautiful day.
Yeah, we actually had it was a perfect day for it. The wind died down there right around dark. We saw 3, probably 5, did we, coming in?
Yeah, well, I mean, you might need hearing aids, but there's nothing wrong with your eyes.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, we saw 5 or 6 there coming in for sure, and then we went on past the camp before we even came in there, and we saw a herd. There was probably 20 there, I guess, quite a few there. I'm not sure, dozen or 20, I don't know. They were kind of wandering around the woods, and the stag that Letto shot, we'll get some more video tomorrow before we clean it. But it's a fucking fantastic stag. I'd say it's probably has 24 scoreable points, and it probably would have been closer to 28 or 29 before they were all wore down. He was doing quite a bit of fighting. But other than that, we're gonna get straightened away now and have a sociable night. And tomorrow's gonna be a camp day. We're gonna clean up that caribou, wait for Crazy Pike to show up here, and Curtis. I've never been in the woods with Curtis, so that's gonna be an adventure. But anyway, it's all good, folks. So
Great day.
Stay tuned, and we're gonna have a go for my caribou now tomorrow or Thursday. So it's next morning now. We got back to the camp last night. Par for the course. We had trouble with one of the quads. The fan quit working and it overheated. That's just some of the things you got to prepare for when you're doing these backcountry hunts. So we actually had planned that we rushed quite a bit and didn't do a lot of video back when we were cleaning the caribou. But we wanted to give ourselves enough time in case we ran into trouble that we could get back to the camp before dark. It's just some of the preparations you have to make when you're doing this type of thing, because we're 20 kilometers from anywhere really. But that's it. We got back. We had a good night. We had a fire and a big feed of catfish. And now today we're going to clean up this caribou. I'm going to cape it actually. I'll do a little bit of video while I'm caping it, but nothing too in depth. And we're going to get the hindquarters hung up there then and skinned out. Get it all cleaned up and ready for transport. And then later on today or tomorrow, depending on the weather, we're going to see if we can get in and get a caribou for myself. This was Jamie's first caribou hunt. He's over there, not going to walk into the camera. He's being shy. So this was Jamie's first caribou hunt. It was pretty funny because he had the same reaction that a lot of people did. We were driving in the road yesterday and we saw 3 caribou pretty quick, not far from the highway. And we've only got, this is our last hunt for the year. We've got a couple of days here. So when we passed up those 2, you were a little bit wondering, weren't you?
Yeah, I trusted you.
Yeah, there were a couple of small does there, but anyway, it worked out well. We got a nice stag there, so we're going to head over there now and start cleaning it up. So a lot of Newfoundlanders, when they're, and probably people in general, when they shoot a moose in the woods, especially because they're bigger, they'll quarter them up right in the woods and bring them out. One of the things I learned guiding this year was that the less cutting you do in the woods with a saw, the cleaner your meat will be. It's hard to keep the fur out. We actually brought out some of the moose whole this fall when I was guiding. But with the caribou and just for loading them on the quads, we cut this one in half. So there should be no fur on the meat at all. So we're going to skin the entire front half of the caribou. Partially for cleanliness and also because I want the cape. But when we do the hind quarter, we're going to skin that as well. Then we'll cut the meat into quarters and you don't get any fur then from your reciprocating saw. I'm going to do a little talk now on caping. So when you're caping out an animal, the biggest thing that people do is they don't leave enough fur behind the legs for the taxidermist. A taxidermist will never tell you that you left too much fur. Because when you're doing a shoulder mount, sometimes you want these leg bumps here. So by the time they sew it and they wrap it around, I'll leave pretty much half the animal. And that way the taxidermist can cut off what he doesn't need. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to make an incision down here. When I get to the legs, I'm going to come up right to the legs on the inside here. And you can follow, you can see there's a little bit of a fur line right here. So you follow this fur line and that's where the taxidermist will stitch it. Some people will tube the legs, they won't split them. It's way more work and most people just end up making a mess of it anyway. So again, Smoking Taxidermy, Rad Fudge, he said just cut the legs. He said it's not a big deal for the taxidermist. When I get this done, we'll come around on the back side here. And I'm going to make an incision right from here all the way down to just before the ears. Then we'll do a V cut to the 2 antlers right here. And then we'll skin out around the antlers. I'll show you that when I get to it because that's a little bit tricky. But then we'll just skin it as per normal. So it's kind of funny this year. I love caribou hunting. I absolutely love hunting caribou, especially spat and stock with the bow. I got up here in September and I had an opportunity at a decent stag, but the timing just wasn't right. I had too much on the go to actually really deal with it, so I passed. And now we're up here on this trip. And for whatever the reason, I'm not totally gone crazy wanting to shoot one. I will because I will enjoy that. Like I like the meat and I use it. But right now I'm just having just as much fun. Jamie got his. We had a great hunt. And we're going to clean this up. So there's absolutely no rush here. And my hunt, it'll be whatever it is, I guess, when the time comes. So we're just going to keep going down, just keep skinning our way down, and then after I get it done, I'll split the back on the spine where I showed you, and then we'll take the head over on the patio and I'll cape it over there after. We got the hindquarters skinned out. No, we don't, because the head was attached to the front quarters. But for some reason, Letto decided not to drive on the bridge and drove into the bog hole. That's a great camera setup I got there with the sun directly behind me, but I ain't moving it. So this would be a good time to tell you that this new hunting suit, the 3-season suit, is actually awesome. But if they want to send me that new fleece liner they got to make this 4 seasons, I'd certainly love to give it a go. Shameless, Letto, shameless.
Shameless plug.
So we're going to skin the entire front half of the moose, partially for... Cut! I can't blame that on the flies.